kitchen. This week we're going to be making a really easy dish called baked nachos. So far I have chopped up the onions and bell pepper, and I've put some salsa on top. I decided to use a yellow or orange pepper and red onion. You can use whatever sounds good to you and whatever salsa sounds good to you. Also, I wanted my vegetables to still be a little bit crunchy, so I decided not to saute them first. But if you don't want your vegetables to be so crunchy, you could saute them first in a pan on the stovetop in a little bit of oil. And I have done other videos that talk about sauteing, so I'll link one of those in the description if you want more information. But I just put mine directly in my baking dish. I'm going to be baking this in the oven, probably at about 350 degrees, just until the cheese melts. Okay, which leads us to our next step. Alright, you can add whatever kind of beans you want. I decided to do black beans and white beans. And you don't want to get too much of the liquid in here, because it will just make it too soggy for this recipe. So I'm going to use my slotted spoon here, I don't know if you can see that it has slots in it, to just get the beans and not very much of the bean water or bean juice. But I don't get rid of that leftover bean juice that's left over, because it's really good in soups. So I make sure to save this liquid part that I'm leaving behind here. Okay, let's add some of the white beans. You could also do kidney beans, pink beans, or pinto beans. Oops, I've got a little drip here. Okay, and oh, I do want to add a little bit of olive oil in here. I probably should have put that in first at the very bottom, but oh well. So this is just to add a little bit of flavor, and I'm going to stir it around so it will hopefully get spread across the bottom of the dish, just in case my mixture wants to start to stick. Which it probably won't, but just in case it wants to stick, the olive oil would help with that. Alright, and I also want to mix in some crushed red pepper flakes, just because I like mine a bit more spicy. And I did buy the mild salsa, so there's not that much spice coming in from the salsa right now. Okay. And just because I want some greens in here and I don't have any, you know what would be really good in here would be green onions, also known as scallions. Those are the onions that are long and thin with a green long stem and a little white bulb on the end. And if you just chop those up into little slices, those are really good in dishes like this. I don't have any right now, so just to get a little bit of green in here, I'm gonna crush up some dry parsley from the garden this summer. And you could choose to add salt and pepper if you want. I feel like this is gonna be enough flavor, and because I'm using the salsa in a jar, that already has salt in it. So, and also with the canned beans, they also have salt in them. But it's up to you. Alright, so we have our mixture here of different various vegetables and such. And so now we're going to put our chips on the top. Alright, that seems like a pretty good layer. Alright, and then you could shred some cheese on top. Or you just can buy the cheese that's already shredded, but I brought the cheese in a block, and I think it's easier to just slice it up like I did here, and then just break the slices. I find that a lot easier and less messy than shredding the cheese myself with the grater. And it will melt and cover everything if you just do it this way also. This is colby-jack cheese, I think. Okay, I have my oven set to 350 degrees, and I'm going to put the casserole dish in on the top rack. That's because I want the cheese to not get melted too quickly before the rest of it is heated up all the way through. And the heat is coming up from the bottom. So that's why I want the pan on my top rack. And I will check on this in about 15 minutes to see if the cheese is melted yet. Alright, it's done just right. I actually did change my mind, and I'm glad I did. I changed it to 325 instead of 350. And after about between 10 and 15 minutes, it looked like this. The cheese is all melted, and some of it is just starting to get brown, which is just right. This is going to be so good for lunch, dinner, or any kind of event to share with company. You can serve it with sour cream. I also like to serve it with plain Greek yogurt. That's my favorite sour cream substitution. And this would also look so pretty with some of those green onions sliced up on top of it, like I mentioned earlier, or with some cilantro up on top. So I hope you enjoy this fun and easy dish, which is also, interestingly, very healthy. Well, sort of healthy. Okay, enjoy. Bye.